on a busy Thursday and committing to your own business. So here's what Tony Robbins says. He says, we all get into business to win, but the key to winning in any business is to align with your true nature. So unless you discover yourself, you are not going to succeed in your business. Unless you know yourself, you are not going to succeed in your business. All right. So now our session starts. The first word is sales. You know what's so special about sales? Okay, let me hear from some of you. What do you think is sales and why is it so important?
Marketing is to create the need and monetize the need is sales.
Awesome. So just one addition here is that need can never be created. Need is already there. It may be a latent need.
Yeah.
Marketing enhances it. Marketing makes it more visible. Marketing makes it urgent.
Yeah.
From dormant stage to urgent. That is what marketing can do. Yeah. Anybody else? So Michelangelo was the one who created this masterpiece called David. So somebody asked him, where did you find David? So he said David was lying in this block of marble. I just chipped off what was not required. I think that is what marketing does. Marketing helps to discover or to get David out. All right. Anybody else would like to share something about sales? We're 23 of us here, and you're here because you want to know more about opportunities, right? All right. So while you're getting your act together, sales is the only function in business which gets money in. Rest all functions in business drain money. So that is why sales is important. So if you agree to this or if something new has opened up for you, please write in the chat box, sales gets money. And the reason why I'm asking you to write it in the chat box is that every time you write something, it becomes real for you. All right. So what are the prerequisites for sale to happen? First is there are opportunities which need to exist. The second prerequisite is you, the owner, somebody who's driving the sale. And the third most important thing is a yes. Only when your customer says yes, does sale happen. Only when your customer says yes and he gives money to you, only then the opportunity translates into a sale. All right. So now what's an opportunity? Opportunity is the journey from you to yes. So opportunity is the owner, that is you. Profit, perception, organization, relationship, the customer, utility, need, integrity, trust. And then comes a yes. So if you like it, you may take a screenshot.
And but I've already ordered this book.
Perfect. So you'll read something more about it there.
Yeah, I mean Thursday the book should land here.
So it should be landing immediately after this call.
Yeah, definitely on Thursday. I mean, day before yesterday, I really ordered it. Yeah.
So how to get opportunities? That is what this session is all about. The only way for you to have opportunities, have a sustainable business, is to work on opportunities. And my job is to help you discover opportunities. And I must tell you, opportunities are unlimited. In the e-growth logo, there are 3 arrows and 3 of them are in different directions. The green arrow is about collaboration. Collaboration is the bedrock of any business. The saffron arrow is on the right hand side. It is on the direction which is moving forward. It is all about energy. It is all about positivity. And then the blue arrow is on the top. The blue arrow stands for opportunities. Opportunities are unlimited. Blue is the color of sky. Blue is the color of ocean. So that is what opportunities are all about. So opportunities are unlimited. So welcome to the world of opportunities. So it's something like the elephant and 6 blinds. While the 6 blinds, they were able to discover the elephant and each one had a different thing to say. So every opportunity can mean something different to each one of you. All right. So welcome to the world of opportunities. Now let us go through the criteria of selection. Okay. How would you select the opportunities? So first, look at it from the owner's perspective, from your perspective. Check the alignment of the opportunity to the objectives of your business. Now, this talks about 2 things. One, whether the opportunity is aligned to your objectives or not. In the same breath, it also says that you need to be crystal clear about the objectives of your business. Otherwise, you will end up picking opportunities which are not aligned to your business and you will drain your resources, whether that is time, energy, or money. All right. The second criteria is who is the buyer. Now, buyer can be 2 kinds of buyers, the economic buyer and the consumer. So, for example, let us say some products which we are buying for infants. It would be the mother or the father who's buying it, but the consumer is the baby, right? So you've got to be present to both. Who is buying and who is consuming? Now, your opportunities can be B to B, B to C, B to G. Can I have somebody please share what does B to B, B to C, B to G mean?
Business to business, business to consumer, business to government.
Absolutely. And there can also be opportunities which are peer to peer.
Yeah.
All right. Now, all these are different ways in which you would deal with them. B2B is where another business is your customer. So that business is not going to consume your service or product for themselves. They would probably build it into their product and sell it to somebody else. Right? So this may be a raw material for them, what you are delivering. B2C, that is where there is a great likelihood that the consumer is the same as the one who's buying it. Like I gave the example of a baby and the mother is the buyer and the consumer is the baby, right? But still, in that household, they are going to consume it. It is not a raw material for another production. And B2G is where the government is further going to give services for public at large. So, for example, a company like L&T, they make roads for NHAI, National Highways Authority of India. So that can technically be a B2B also, but NHAI being government, they are further delivering services to the public. All right. So the consideration has to be the end user. Will he benefit from it or not? Will he get what he is looking for or not? Does that make sense?
Sure.
And then when we are talking about who is the buyer, we need to have something called as the buyer persona. So today we'll not get into the details of buyer persona, but you need to have a map of what does the consumer look like. What are his considerations? What are his pain points? What are the features or benefits that will delight him? And these are drawn from all different aspects. The demographics, psychographics, behavior, the aspirations of your customer. You put them together, only then you get to know your customer. Is this opportunity aligned to our core? So like I said in the first point, that you need to be very sure of what your objectives are. So objectives is one part of your core. Objectives, resources, culture, the direction in which you are going, all these things put together form the core of your business. So are we operating from a position of strength if we are addressing this opportunity? Is this aligned to the opportunity we want to address? It may so happen that I get an opportunity, but then that is not the kind of opportunities I want to serve. So somebody comes to me and says that, why don't you create a training or deliver training to our people on soft skills? I refuse such opportunities because that is not something what I want to, that is not where I see the future. That's not my core. Right? So while it is important for us to say a yes, it is equally important to know where to say no. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So anybody has a question here, some concern, something you want to share?
You see, the opportunity validation is extremely important, as you have said. The way I always tell my people to do it is to see the four aspects of it. Number one, the need, which is very, very important. Then second is, whomsoever we are talking, does he have the authority to make a decision? So need, then authority. And third is the budget. Do they have the budget to buy this? And last but not the least, what's the timeline? We can sell everything, but by which timeline? That's equally important. So these are the four aspects: need, authority, budget, and timelines. As far as the software selling is concerned, we always look at these four aspects to validate an opportunity. Of course, you talked about buying center, which is in our case we call lines of business. Sometimes we sell it to the CIO. If you have to sell the hardware, you need to convince the CIO. If we have to sell software, which is value based, you have to go to each and every lines of business to sell your software solution. So these are the certain aspects you always look at.
Yeah. So there is a lot more. We just reached the owner, so we still have to go from O to Y.
Yeah.
All right. So let's move to next one, which is SWOT analysis. What are our strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats? Right. So the first point over here, I said, are we operating from the point of strength? We will get to know this only we have spent enough time to document what is our strength, what are our weaknesses. All right. The second piece is profit. Profit is a financial gain, which in turn is the difference between the amount earned and the amount spent in buying, operating, or producing something. So between the two P's, profit comes first. If we are not making profit, we aren't doing business. And profit, it is there in the spelling itself. It says it is profit. If this opportunity is aligned to my fitment, then it is profitable.
Yeah, but in some cases, you can't have profit on day one. Huh? So you have to invest to capture the market the way Geo has done.
Fair enough. But then where are you headed?
Sure.
Right? So then you are taking a calculated risk.
Yeah.
Right?
Look at many of the unicorns in India. They have been doing that way only. But of course, I hope everybody will not become Baizu. That's a big problem. But profit is extremely important. The commercial success, any business.
See, whatsoever you do, sometime or the other, first you have to break even and then you have to start making profit. Amazon did not make profit for almost 20 years.
Yeah.
But they kept on going. They knew. But they kept on selling also. There were investors. So at that point in time, they were selling to the investors and the investors kept on pumping money.
Yes.
It's only later that the customers, when they were buying this, that itself started becoming break-even.
Yes.
The second P is, Sakshi, you want to say something?
Yeah, I just want to ask a question on the profit topic only. Like, Atul, so we should focus on the very initial level. Should we focus on the profit part, or should we focus, profit at the later stage and kind of, just starting a business? When you're actually starting a business, what should be the main focus? Is it on profit?
So that is subjective to your business and the business model. Okay. So for example, hand pumps. Okay. Hand pumps don't get water in the first go. You need to prime it first. So there is some water which needs to be put from top. And then it starts. So you need to prime the pump before the pump starts giving water. Same is the case of business. You need to prime the business before it starts giving profit.
Until the time we are not actually getting profits, we should take calculated risk.
You must, obviously.
Okay, thank you.
And you must also know that you got enough resources to last till the time you started making profit. Does that make sense?
Yes.
At least break even, if not profit.
Yeah, at least we should have that much investment or like money with ourselves.
So I will give you a classic example. Okay, we were making our home way back in early in 2000s, and we planned an X amount of budget. And during this period, there were some thefts. We lost something here and there, and all that stuff. By the time it came to the final stage, and we had to work on the flooring, we had just enough money so that we could have a floor of normal cement. We could not have marble, we could not have tiles. We did not have money. All right. So
Yeah.
that happens. So that happens in business also. You're still not making profit, you're not still not broken even, and at that stage your resources have dried. That is the time when you can think you've pledged everything, banks are not willing to give you loans, nothing of that kind. That is the valley of death. Okay, the first set of customers, they would come from your friends and families. They will not buy because they have a need. They will buy because you are the one, they believe in you. But then at some stage, if you run out of gas, then your business sinks. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
So this is something which you got to be very, very, very cautious of. Because at that time, it's like Kaun Banega Crorepati. Once all your lifelines are over, you goof up, you've gone. No call a friend, nothing. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So business is Kaun Banega Crorepati. और कितनी जल्दी? Right? The second P is perception. Business is all about building perception. You may not be making money, but if the world knows that you are making money, they will give you more money. So does this opportunity add to our perception with our stakeholders?
Atul, is a very right statement from your mouth.
Sir, kaun si wali?
The perception of the market.
Absolutely. We are in the business of perception management. It's all about value creation and delivery and brand value. If I have great perception, the market will come and give me money at zero cost. But if I have a bad perception and I'm still making money, people will still not give me money. Good delivery system is again a perception. The reason why companies go out of the way for grievance handling is they want to improve perception. All right. The third one is organization. Do we have the systems and structures to deliver it in time as it is required to be delivered? If we do a shoddy job, the customer will never ever come back to me. The customer will never ever recommend us to somebody else. Whether it is production, delivery, or installation, or post-sale service. And there could be different pieces to your business model. So it is not just about getting an order. It is serving the customer. All businesses are in the job of serving the customer. We exist because of the customer. It is not the other way around. Next is relationship. What kind of a relationship do we have with the customer? Do we have a leverage there? In the sense, will the customer forgive me if I fault? Now, Mr. Mukherjee has ordered for a book and they promised Thursday. If he does not get it on Thursday, will he forgive the vendor? Right? Or will he just go on a spree of calling everybody and putting something on Twitter and here and there and everything? What is the kind of relationship you have with your customer? And because of this leverage, can you get any advantage? Can you get extra credit? Can you sell him something extra? Can you get an extra testimonial? Right? That's relationship. The customer themselves. Is this the ideal customer for me? Especially when we are on a weak wicket. We end up working with all kind of customers, whether we like them, we don't like them, whether they are our ideal customers or not. We've got to be conscious of it. What is the kind of customer? So let us say Taj Hotel, right? They have priced their sandwich at, let us say, 2,000 rupees. They have priced it at such a price because they want to entertain only those kind of customers who have a certain persona and a certain paying capacity. Right? Otherwise, they could also have the sandwich at 10 rupees, right? Do we want to serve more customers like these? If I want to serve more customers like these, I will bend backwards to keep on serving this customer, even if it is from my own pocket. Have we mapped the customer persona? Do we know the likings, the desires, the reasons why the customer is buying? It's very important. These are things which take a lot of time and effort, but we do it once. That helps us to get started. Utility. Is this a severe pain point for the customer? Or is it just a good to have? Will we be a valued player for the customer? Or are we just another one? Will the customer come back to us? These are some things which we need to keep on looking at. If that is not the case, let us not go to the customer in the first go itself. Needs. Is this an urgent need for the customer? Does this give us an opportunity to go up the value chain? Are we just another supplier or a key supplier for them? If we are just another supplier, let us not get into that business. If we are a key supplier, then let us be there. Integrity. This is my favorite one. Will we be able to deliver in integrity? Deliver what we promise, deliver when we promise, and delight the customer. When I'm saying delight the customer, give something more than what we've promised. That is integrity.
Yeah.
So in the yesteryears, just meeting the customer's expectations was good enough. Today, meeting the customer's expectations is the bare minimum. How much beyond that do we go? That makes all the difference. That makes the difference between the boys and the men.
True. In fact, we call it P by E. You know, P stands for performance of the product or services you're offering to the customer, divided by E. E is the expectation of the customer. If P by E is equal to 1, customer will be satisfied. If P by E is more than 1, customer will be delighted. That's what we should strive for.
Awesome. I'll come to you for lectures.
Really. I'm
Then
learning from you.
Then comes trust. यूं ही चलते चलते गुजर जाएगा समय. Is there enough trust between the customer and us? Trust is much more than money. Trust is much more than profit.
Yeah.
Right? Today, the fact that 24, 25 of you are here, that means there is some level of trust which is there between us.
Yes.
Some of you may be there on the fence. Let us check out who this guy is. You may be sitting in judgment. That's fine. And being in judgment, some of you may say, okay, he's worthwhile, so the trust has increased. My job is to ensure that the trust does not erode, even if it does not increase. And that is important for all businesses, all of us. So today, when you are giving me this 90 minutes of your life, am I doing justice to those 90 minutes? Though it is said free, it is not free. You are giving me your time. And I, as a product owner, as a service owner, must respect your time, must respect what you are giving. That is how I will build trust. So every interaction that I have, am I deepening the trust? So are we capable to deliver? Are we able to deliver more than what we promise? And after all this comes a yes. Will this yes mean expansion for my business? If this yes is an expansion for my business, I must serve the customer. Else I should not. I'm talking about this opportunity. Now, next question was sources of information. Where do you get new opportunities? So before I share my slide, let me ask from you. What did you get out of the previous slides that I've just shared? Were this something new open up for you in the criteria that we went through? Do you think you will be looking at opportunities in a different fashion henceforth? Yes, no, thank you. Please unmute yourself and share. Mukherjee Sahab, you please don't share this time.
Otherwise, I'm not going to share. Yeah, I will not share anything.
Thank you. Hello. Otherwise, we'll go on mute if nobody else shares. Hello. It's okay to share.
Atul, I just wanted to say.
Yes, sir, please.
We have been somewhat following almost all of these, whatever you mentioned.
Fantastic. That's really good.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mr. Thomas says that he will be looking for opportunity in a different way. Thank you, Thomas. All right. So sources of information. This is a pretty simple one. Okay. In today's world, when everything is online, the online sources are there. So you look for the website. LinkedIn is a great source for getting connections through whom you create more opportunities. Other social media also. Now, how would you reach out to them? One way is like these digital marketing people, they typically would do, they would send you a message in your inbox. We can get you unlimited leads through WhatsApp automation. Please reach out to me. Now, this is a very, a shallow way of reaching out to somebody. I don't even know the person, and the person has straight away started selling to me. So that how is very important. Am I creating some value for the person? Maybe share something from his or her industry, which will get his or her interest or attention, and then build on the conversation. So this is an organic way, and it takes some time, but it is worth the effort. All right. Next is conferences, events, and networking. These are again places where people are more relaxed, people not in their work environment. So they are willing to listen, they are willing to have a coffee with you. But then you should have done your homework before that. So when you're catching up with somebody, you should give something to him. Don't be a leech. Don't latch on to somebody. Be there from the position of contribution. Only then the other person would value you. Then there is public data, there is government data, stock exchange reports, media reports, country reports, industry reports. All these are different kind of sources from where you can get opportunities. I'm sure there is nothing new over here. The only
Annual report is equally important. Company annual report.
absolutely. The annual reports, they share the kind of investments that the company has been making, the kind of technology they've been investing in, the kind of customers they have been working with. That gives you a fair idea of the probable direction in which they would go. So I'll give you a classic case. Okay, if you have seen this movie called Chak De India, towards the end, there was one penalty stroke that this girl had to take. Okay, so the goalkeeper, she was there, and the coach, he is keeping an eye on the one who's going to take that penalty stroke. So he looks at her body, her mannerisms, where her feet are pointing, where her honky is pointing, where her eyes are. And then he realizes that she is going to take a straight shot. And then he says, Ya Khuda, ye to seedha shot lene wali hai. Be straight. All right. This is how we get opportunities. We look at the mannerisms of our customer. Where are they investing? What are their sources? What are they creating? Which industry are they getting into? Which country or which geography are they entering into?